Lubbock Christian, as you alluded to in the question, we just did not compete in the first half. I thought it was the most disappointing effort overall by a basketball team, and I think it's indicative of you keep hitting a wall, and for the kids, they're hitting that wall, and they kind of gave into that some frustration in the first half, and when the ball doesn't go in the basket, it can demoralize you. And quite frankly, we've just had a very hard time scoring on basketball consistently, particularly in the last 10 games. So, the first half against Lubbock Christian, was just a manifestation of that. The second half, regardless of whether your ball is going in the basket, you have a responsibility to your team and your to the school to do your best, and that's what we impress upon our guys, and go out and play the best and as hard as you can play. And I think the kids tried to do that. It's not ideal to dig a hole the way we did against a team like Lubbock Christian, so very, very difficult to overcome that in a half of basketball, but we did compete better. West Texas was a wholly different situation, and West Texas doesn't give you a choice. You don't play well, and they'll embarrass you. And we played hard, I thought, throughout the basketball game. I thought our effort, which is all I cared about, was way more consistent throughout that 40 minutes. Continued to have some trouble scoring the basketball as we have all year, particularly in the last 10 games, but we competed. And for me right now, that's the most important thing. You can compete and not win, but you can't win and not compete. So if you don't get that right, there's really no need to talk about anything else. And for the most part this year, our guys have done a good job of that, the first half of Lubbock Christian notwithstanding.
Coach, I know you're not a look-ahead type of guy, but 10 games remaining on the regular season schedule. When you look at the LSC standings, it is a logjam, particularly in the middle of the standings where your team currently resides. And these games coming up this weekend, continuing your homestand against Fort Smith and Oklahoma Christian, two teams you've already seen this year, are incredibly important. What has to change for your team this weekend compared to your first outing against both of these basketball teams?
The score. That is what needs to change, for lack of a better way to put it. And you're right, I honestly have no idea what the standings are. Here's what I know: we're not in first place, and that's really all I care about. What our job is to get ready for the next team. I get it. Ultimately we want to be at a certain place, but if we got to think micro. We have to figure out a way to be, in our decision-making processes, more proficient on the offensive end of the floor. We are, if not the top, one of the top defensive teams in the league, and by measure of points per game, which is irrelevant, and defensive field goal percentage, which is very relevant. And we're one of the top defensive teams in the league, but we're also having a hard time scoring the basketball. So that's all I care about. I don't, I respect your question. I understand it. I probably should look more into, who we're playing 8 games from now, and probably should be more conscious of where we're at in the standings. We're not in first, and we're struggling to do certain things, and that's what we're focused on. And we're focused on playing as well as we could possibly play in the next opportunity we have to play. And that's not being cliche, that is real. That's how we approach things. We cannot. You just made me sick to my stomach talking about 10 games and piled up in I don't know that until you just said it, and I don't, quite frankly, really care. I just want us to go out and play as hard as we can play, and try to be as proficient in our decision-making on the offensive end, to take good shots, to give ourselves a chance to score the basketball. Because if we do that with one of the better defensive teams in the league, all of the things that you alluded to will take care of themselves.
Coach, simple enough message. Best of luck this weekend. Looking forward to some more Patriot basketball inside the Harrington Patriot Center.
Thank you.